Hello everybody, I am Crystal Clear 101. Welcome back to my channel. We have a NECA toy review today, and this time it is one that I am very thrilled to be bringing to you. This is my review of the Series 5 Aliens Lieutenant Ellen Ripley. Now this figure was released in late 2015. She is a general release, and her suggested retail is $17.99. That was looked over her packaging. Right up here we have the Aliens logo right up here, along with the name of the character right down here. And right here on the left side of the packaging, it shows a very nice shot of the figure itself. This shows a very, very good likeness of Sigourney Weavers' character. And on the reverse side of the packaging, we have the Aliens logo right up here. Also shows some of the other figures available for Series 5, including the figure that's currently being reviewed. Other figures include a bisected bishop, which also comes with a xenomorph egg and a facehugger, along with a black and red genocide xenomorphs. Shows the bisected bishop here, Ripley in an action pose here, along with the NECA xenomorph queen. And right down here, the description reads, "The sole survivor of the Nostromo, Ripley is discovered in cryogenic sleep 57 years later by a salvage ship. When she is taken back to Earth, Ripley learns that the company has established human colonies on the same planet where the alien attack originated. After all contact with the colony is lost, Ripley agrees to return to the planet accompanied by a team of colonial marines. Together, they will rescue any survivors that remain and confront the alien menace head-on." And on the right side of the packaging, it shows Ripley in an action pose holding her pulse rifle flamethrower combo. And now we have shown the packaging for this figure, let's go ahead and open up Ripley. And now that we got Ripley out of her packaging, let's get a better look at her. First, let's go ahead and give a quick 360 degree. Now, as far as characters from the various Alien movies go, considering they've mainly been focusing on Alien and Aliens, they've only done one so far from Alien 3, that being the dog alien, the dog xenomorph. Now, this is supposed to be based on her appearance from towards the end of the movie, where she decides to do battle with the xenomorphs just to get Newt back. Now, my pros and my cons. The only con I can honestly give is that it took them so long to get Sigourney Weavers' permission to use her likeness. And that is the one thing I will say I do like about NECA, is before they can release a character, they have to get that actor or actress's approval, their permission to use their exact likeness for a figure. And it took, and for me, considering it took them until 2014 really to get Sigourney Weavers' permission, I will say that I am so glad that Sigourney Weaver has given them her okay to do figures based on her likeness. Because what some people may not know, I'm probably stating the obvious, but Sigourney Weaver is one of the most anti-gun actresses in Hollywood. Matter of fact, part of the reason she refused to lend out her likeness for years is the fact that she did not want a figure of her packaged with a gun. Because to her, a figure in her likeness holding a gun promotes, quote, gun violence, which to me is complete total nonsense. To me, as a collector, this is what I want. I want a highly detailed version of her character that I can actually have in my collection. To be honest, that I can actually hold. And for me, this is the version of Ripley to have. Because not only does it capture her with her iconic dual combo of the pulse rifle and the incinerator unit, the M41 with the M240, but they managed to capture the details so well on this, it's not even funny. For instance, the sling for the front of the pulse rifle is wrapped around the incinerator unit. the very back of the stock back here is wrapped in duct tape. Not only that, well, it's wrapped in electrical tape, rather. And they even went so far as to put the locator right up here on the top of the pulse rifle frame. Just like she had her little weapon combo set up towards the very end of the movie. But my pros, number one, the overall sculpt is well done. This is a very eye-catching figure. Not only did they get the details on her right, but certain other little things like the little various sweat stains on her t-shirt. They managed to nail down the sweat stains perfectly. Not only that, but the little bandolier that's right here, this is removable, so you can have her actually hold this just like she does when she throws into the fire in front of the Xenomorph Queen. But the overall appearance of the figure is very pleasing. Now, the head sculpt, for me, is probably the most striking thing about this figure. But perhaps the most impressive feature about this figure is the face sculpt. Because not only does this capture Sigourney Weavers' appearance perfectly from the classic '86 movie, but they also nailed the hair down just about perfectly. You can make out individual strands of hair on her head. Not only that, the sculpt is so good that my camera actually picks this up as an individual face. So NECA really outdid themselves as far as the head sculpt goes. And as far as how she looks when actually holding her weapon, well, I think this says it all right here. Now, with the exception of the fact that I cannot really get her support hand to actually come up and physically hold it. Actually, there we go. But she is able to hold this weapon just about perfectly like she did in the classic '86 movie. The fact she's able to hold it just like in the movie, that makes this even better. For me, this is about as close to perfection as you can get out of a 7-inch figure. But the fact that they captured so many little bits, so much attention to her, so much attention to details in this figure, it's not even funny. It's actually almost frightening. But the fact that they actually went this far out of the way, the fact that NECA went this far out of their way to capture Ripley so perfectly well in 7-inch scale, that tells me not only have they been wanting to do this particular figure, but that they are wanting to please their fan base. They're wanting to please the fans of the Alien franchise. And for me, this is saying a lot. Because they did not screw around with this figure. They wanted to do this figure justice, and that is exactly what they did. For me, this is the perfect Ripley that you can get. Weapons and accessories for Lieutenant Ripley include her M41A pulse rifle and M240 incinerator unit combo she used towards the end of the movie, which does feature the duct tape that her character did use to actually secure the two weapons together in the back, as well as wrapping the sling of the pulse rifle around the front of the incinerator unit to further secure the weapon, as well as the locator that she duct taped on the very top of the pulse rifle frame to help her find Newt, and a bandolier which is loaded with grenades for the grenade launcher, which can be removed from her and placed in her hand as if she's going to throw it, which allows for more display options. An articulation for Lieutenant Ripley consists of a ball-jointed head, ball-hinged shoulders, ball-hinged elbows, ball-jointed wrists, ball-jointed waist, ball-hinged hips, ball-hinged knees, and ball-jointed ankles. And what is my overall verdict, my personal thought on the Series 5 Aliens Lieutenant Ripley? Well, I think it's pretty safe to say what I actually have to say about this figure. You don't hear me say this too often, but this figure to me is just, you're not going to hear me say this too often, perfect. This captures the look of Sigourney Weaver's character. The face sculpt is perfect. They captured every little detail they could for her pulse rifle incinerator unit combo. Just all sorts of various little details, right down to the sweat stains on her t-shirt. Not only that, the various little colors that are in her shoes, I should have mentioned that earlier, my apologies. But they captured every single detail you can find about Ripley towards the end of Aliens. And they scaled it down to 7-inch scale. This, for me, is just not only impressive, but this figure is just flat out pure eye candy. If you are a fan of Aliens, this has to be the centerpiece of your NECA Aliens collection. If you put it this way, if you do not get this figure, you are a fool. That's how good this figure is. So by all means, get this figure, get her. That's all I can really say about this figure, is 10 out of 10 perfection. But that'll wrap up my review on the NECA Aliens Lieutenant Ellen Ripley. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.